Right, how horrible am I? Yeah, I've my actual phone has just ran out. It's just ran out and quit on us. It won't store any more video, and obviously this video was longer than my last videos. You know, it was like kind of what it's an hour long now. We're nearly finished for today. Got maybe about 10-15 more minutes left, so bear with us if you're still there and you just wondered what was going on. But literally, he's just got a new phone for Christmas. Santa Claus brought him, and it's what, not even a full week past Christmas, and I've gone, hey Din, can I borrow your phone? Why? He thinks I'm looking at his Snapchat or whatever he's looking at. Bloody TikTok. I'm making a TikTok video. Right, we're at. So we'll finish off doing what we're doing here. We're nearly done. We're just filling up this now because I can see where there's a little bit of area there where it's the liquid's just running off, right? It's and we need to kind of fill it nicely all the way to the edges, yeah? So we're just going to finish doing what I'm doing here. Probably, there we go, right, do it at the top piece here. So hold your curve on there. Again, like I said before, these curves are definitely not accurate, but they're a curve, so it means that at least for a portion of that curve, we can get it in amongst the edge that I need to. It's cutting now like when I was trying to cut the paintbrush. Just moving out the bloody way. That's them frayed bits for you. Right, so there we go, like that. All the way to the edge. Right, now we get the brush. We dab it on again. More dabbing it on. So it is just like I was on about before, it's just like your paper mache, you know, when you were at school and you did that. If you cast your minds back and you'd make balls and stuff and human heads and that, like you'd blow up a balloon and then you'd start layering on your strips of paper mache. And then the next day you'd go into school and it all went hard, and that's when you sort of, the balloon's still inflated inside, so you'd down the bottom, you'd stick a pin in it and the balloon would go down, and then you'd cut a tiny little hole and you could pull the balloon out from it if that's what you wanted to do. Otherwise you'd just end up with a balloon inside. You didn't even have to do that, you just leave the balloon as it was. But with this, obviously, if you imagine our helmet here is the balloon, we'll not be popping it afterwards, we're just leaving it as it is. Right, so I think maybe one more piece and then we might be done, you know. Let's trim this one off here. None of this stuff requires you to be like, you know, when you're studying, doing qualifications, when you're studying, you're learning new information. That's great, because you're learning new stuff. But when you're doing stuff like this, like I did art and graphic design when I was young, did engineering as well. Engineering was one of the things you had to learn. You had to learn what to do there. You might have an inkling how things work, but you definitely had to learn. You had to pay attention to what you're being taught. It was very for safety reasons, and also to get the best out of the tools that you were using, you know. Now clearly, as you've seen with me, I wing a lot of stuff with the tools that I use. It can be quite dangerous doing that, but it's the only way to learn when you're older, or you go back to a learning environment, which is not that I'm above that. I would love to have the opportunity to go back to a learning environment, but needs must when you become an adult, isn't it? And you kind of you trade off what you can go back to school and learn with earning an income, and you kind of like, the earning an income as an adult is more important, sadly. But some stuff you can learn yourself, and doing stuff like this is definitely something that anyone could do. Having the balls to chop up a helmet is a different thing, and but there's no difference doing this to just moulding something else, you know. Now that is as I want it really. It's I'm going to lift you up and show you what I've done. Take these goggles off now. It's red as in here now. Bloody hell, look at my face, red hot. So you'll see what I've done. Hold it above it there. I've pieced in that piece, right? That was talking about the blank. See if we can get in. And you see the grooves that I cut around it. They're filled now with glass resin. The danger is, or there's a real urge to wipe this up, right? What's going to happen is it's all going to go super hard, right? Maybe I'll see if I can just tidy it a little bit. What I don't want to do is use my rubber glove. Bear with us. Right, that's better. If I'd used a towel or something, there's worry that bits of the material could come off, and then they themselves would become like sort of super hard glass fibre, you know, because the material would absorb the glass resin and then it would go off. Now I can see what's happening here. See where I've masked off my helmet there? It's running down there, which is the real difficult part, because we don't want that to be in there, because it's going to go super hard and it's going to be a pain in the arse to get it out. So very quickly now, I'm probably up here, get my screwdriver in here, I'm going to have to try and sort of get that out. I don't really want to use a screwdriver, but there's nothing else I can use in the workshop here, because anything else that's got sort of fibrous material. See, also me just wipe that off there. My masking tape is stuck to that, so what it means is when I peel the masking tape off, it's going to leave a layer there of masking tape. And this is what happens when you're doing stuff, custom jobs, right? Custom is pretty much just not shop bought, it's not factory, it's not as it was designed to be. You're doing something brand new, right? Now when you're doing custom stuff, a lot of things go wrong with your time, so you end up, what you think in your head, it might take 5 minutes, and it might end up taking like sort of so much longer to do. I am actually going to use a wet cloth now, because it's still tacky enough to it's still liquefied enough that I can wipe it. So I'm going to use, I've got some little antibacterial wipes in here, so they're wet but not like watery, and yeah, great. Whereas using a cloth with water, the water will become a pain in the arse, and also it could potentially affect the structure of my glass fibre, meaning that when it dries it has like sort of weak spots. But with this, it's got no like sort of coarse fibres in it. Nothing's going to come off this like using a tea towel or something, you know. Right, let's just get this now up that groove there. That's better. Because what we don't want to do, we could have left that by all means, but then when we come to take the masking tape off, we're just going to have a world of hurt there, because it's going to be stuck down with glass bloody resin, and that would be so difficult to get off. It means that we're sanding areas that we didn't want to be sanding, we're dremeling areas that we didn't want to be dremeling. It'd be a pain in the arse, and that's what I was getting at. When you're doing custom work, you can estimate how long it's going to take you based on your own experience or your own thoughts of how long it should take, but you can never really factor in the truth about how things go wrong, you know, because you can't prepare for it. You just got to accept that doing custom work is going to be more time consuming. Some days it might work mint, some days it might go to shit. Right, I mentioned before about the watershed bit. I've just swore there, and it's only 9 minutes into this video. However, because it's the same video as before, I can get away with it. Right, now fortunately I've had my fire on in here today, right, so it is warm in here, definitely not cold, but it's very quickly going to cool down. But I'm not taking this into the house or somewhere warmer where it's still quite tacky like that, because we'll get covered in dog hair, or someone will knock it or something and it'll just be knackered. So I'm going to call it a day with you today. There's the finished piece of me sort of blank on that side. I can't do the other side yet because it means I'm going to tip this over. So what we need to do is let this go off nice and hard in an area where it's not going to get knocked or damaged. We try and need to keep it up so it's not going to like sort of, we don't want it to run anymore, so it causes more of a noise. So now, long video of the day, so thank you if you've bared with us, right? It's hard getting these videos right. When I first started doing them, I think that first video, within the first couple of weeks, got like sort of 600 and odd views, and of them 600 and odd views, I think it was like sort of 5 minutes. I think about 400 of them were the full duration of the video, which is just amazing. Obviously it struck a chord what I was saying, you know. But then as I went on and did my other videos, you must have just thought I was talking bollocks, because people like would sort of click on and view it for like a minute and then click off, and you get all these analytics tell you, and kind of a lot of people don't even bother viewing anymore. I've had people unsubscribe, and it's just proven to be a tough nut to crack. I don't know if I'm doing things right or if I'm doing things wrong. But anyway, hopefully this will be right, and this is the content that you want to see with me actually doing stuff. So until next time, which is I'll have both sides of this done, and we'll come on to the next bit, which will be me shaping it or something. And I'll spend you another date. Right, until then, take care, all the best, bye.